Welcome back, legends. I hope you're all fantastic. On today's video, I've got the Boss SD1 on the bench, a pedal that truly needs no introduction. I love this pedal. You love this pedal. We all love the Boss SD1. It was pointed out to me by a viewer, though, that I should explore the so-called Zakk Wylde settings on the SD1. I did a video recently with the SD1, boosting an amp, and I set it up the way I've got it here, with the level all the way up, the tone control to taste, and the drive all the way down. Very much the same way I would use a Tube Screamer, and a lot of people would use a Tube Screamer style pedal in front of a dirty amp. You're not really using it as a drive per se, you're using it as a pre-EQ to shave off some low end, add a bit of mid-range in there, and just really tighten up and sweeten the amp. So I'll let you hear those settings first. This is a Greco Les Paul custom copy with a Gibson Dirty Fingers humbucker in the bridge. I don't have a Les Paul with EMGs. I'm not really out to replicate Zakk's tone, just taking some inspiration from the rig in general, and of course the amazing chops. We'll see how I do. That is running into the Synergy 800 module and a Syn 5050 power amp. I've set it up to be a little bit thicker than a typical Marshall style tone because the power amp has a depth control and unmodded JCM 800 does not have that. So we'll hear the core tone, then I'll kick the SD1 in on top of that. That certainly works well to tighten up that amp. You can hear it's pulling out a lot of low end on there, and it's pumping up the mids. It's making everything easier to play. Pinched harmonics are a lot easier to grab on there. With this guitar, it's given me a John Sykes vibe, of course, but if you had some EMGs and you're really dialed in the rig and have the right speakers, I'm sure you would get, pretty close to the Zakk thing. However, while that's giving me a nice mid-range boost, it doesn't really have the hair that I would describe on, the kind of classic Zakk 800 tones, or even, like the Blue Murder stuff when Sykes was using Marshalls instead of boogies. So, pretty straightforward tweak on this. There's photos on the internet of Zakk's pedal board with his SD1, everything at 1 o'clock. So let's do this. We'll hear it on this, I'll bring the level down, and then I'll bring the drive up, and let's just have a listen to the difference, compare and contrast, and see if we get that kind of hair in the tone happening. Now that was very interesting. As I turned the level down, the overall character of the tone didn't change too much, but as I brought the drive in and added some clipping to the circuit, it's like it kind of repopulated the low end again, and I definitely got that hair that I was talking about that is so characteristic of players like Zakk, John Sykes, Doug Aldrich. I love that. I love how kind of chewy it makes everything. I should actually probably try to play an Aussie song that Zakk played on that I kind of know how to play, so I've gone down to drop D. You all know what's coming next. very, very satisfying. I don't think I'm going to use these settings all the time, but they're definitely handy to have in the back pocket as a kind of reference starting point with the SD1 and a Marshall style amp, just to get that kind of chewy late 80s thing going on. I like it, and it definitely makes a difference for the reasons I outlined before. All right, I'll jump on my main PRS in drop C now. This has lower output pickups than the Greco. I'm going to have to kind of tweak the SD1 settings. I'm going to use these as a starting point and just kind of dial it in to taste. That's pretty interesting there. I couldn't really find a setting that I liked as much as I could with the Greco, but I also don't like this guitar as it is with the amp set the way it is at the moment. I would go and tweak the amp and really dial it in for the guitar and then chuck those settings on top of it. This is a much darker sounding guitar with lower output pickups. The Greco is perfect for that late 80s kind of thing. This I like more with like a Mark Series style amp or a boosted Repto for that kind of, sledgehammer hitting concrete kind of sound rather than that big, chewy, hairy Marshall style thing that was popularized in the late 80s. Very, very interesting. This was a nice little rabbit hole to go down. Let me know your thoughts on the tones in the comment section below. And if there's any other pedals that you have like secret settings for, let me know in the comment section below and maybe I can turn this into a series. I will leave you all with a few clips that I played previously in the video, slathered with some detune from my Eventide H3000, maybe a bit of reverb from my Lexicon PCM70, just to like fully lean into the late 80s production vibe on that one. I've just added these in post. So enjoy those, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for watching.